Meeting is recorded. Brilliant. And good morning or good evening.
Good morning. Good evening, everyone. And I'm really sorry about getting the time wrong. I thought it was not daylight saving, but apparently daylight saving switched this week and it messed me up. So you all have my sincere apologies for that, and we're going to make it up to you. Here's how we're going to make it up to you. Any of you who aren't already 100x Coin Club members, we're going to give you another 6 months. And any of you who are turning up who are, we're going to give you another 6 months as well. And if you stick around to the end, we're going to give you the silver version of our automated system for free. For free, no catch, no enter your credit card, no trial, none of that stuff. So yeah, I messed up and we'll make it right. How's that?
Awesome sauce. Brilliant.
All right.
Let's go.
Cracking. Bitcoin just hit all-time highs, $73,046 today, and we all know what happens next. In 2012, once it hit all-time highs, and this was like $11. Once it hit that all-time high of $11, it just went vertical, rallied 1,800% over the next 9 months. You won't remember that one, but I remember that one. It also happened the very next year. This was this first one. It touched the all-time highs here and just immediately goes parabolic. That all-time high of $1,130, there was a long bear market. And then as soon as it touched the all-time highs, boom, it multiplied 20x in, a few months. And in 2020, again, this 19,600 peak of Bitcoin lasted. A lot of people said Bitcoin was going to die, or just down to $3,000. As soon as it touched the all-time highs, booyah. This happens not just in crypto. It happens in stocks. It happens in bonds. It happens in gold. You saw it with Tesla. You saw it with GameStop. It happens in real estate in Australia and Canada and Hong Kong. It's happened in every market in the world, in every country in the world for hundreds of years. And you've got to understand that once the price of something hits the highest price ever in recorded history, it ignites a speculative mania. And this speculative mania feeds on itself. So what happens is, as soon as we're human beings, and we tend to keep the investments we love, and we sell the investments we hate. What sort of investment do you love? You love an investment that's making you money. So as soon as Bitcoin hit $70,000, every single person who's ever bought Bitcoin is showing a profit. No one's a bag holder. As soon as that happens, people start to slow down their selling because they've seen it before. We're pattern matching monkeys, right? Like, we know that in 2020 it hit all-time highs and then just went ballistic for the next couple of months. So no one's selling it. Now, this is very reliable behavior, but there's more. Now, if you're lucky enough or smart enough to own crypto already, which I hope you all do, you'd be crazy to sell now. This is not the selling time. You've got like another year of this glorious period. And we're so early because it's happening again. You can see we just, a week ago, we tapped these all-time highs. We're so early. Now, this 2024 crypto bull market looks like being the strongest ever, but there's one date you have to mark down. The 28th of March, 2024 is when the current Bitcoin futures expire and when the new Chicago Mercantile Futures Bitcoin contract starts. Now, that's not significant for us, but it's a huge deal for institutional participation. All the bankers, the investment bankers and hedge fund guys, they're not making Binance and Bybit accounts. They're trading on regulated exchanges with proper custodial things. And the CME group, Chicago Mercantile Exchange, is the only one that they can really get legal permission to trade on, especially in the US. Now, what happens is these contracts expire on certain dates. And for the first time ever, there's these new Bitcoin spot ETFs like IBIT, and you compare them with the CME Bitcoin futures to make a totally risk-free bet. And what I mean, this is what institutional traders call basis trading. Now, let me explain this. You can buy Bitcoin in an ETF, like buy IBIT, and bet that Bitcoin goes up. you can simultaneously short the Bitcoin futures on the Chicago Mercantile Exchange and bet that Bitcoin goes down. So with your left hand, you're betting that Bitcoin goes up. With your right hand, you're betting that Bitcoin goes down. If Bitcoin goes down, you've made money here and you've lost money here. If Bitcoin goes up, you've made money here, you've lost money here, and you can collect an absolutely risk-free premium. So right now, our basis, you can see it keeps rising and rising and rising. We're at 26% a year, and that might not sound like much to crypto traders. Like I made 26% last week, more than that actually. But for banks, 26% a year, totally risk-free, that's 6 times what they can get anywhere else. This is absolutely a huge deal. And let's be clear about what's happening. So the $1 billion per day that's flowing into Bitcoin spot ETFs, it's driving the price up. That driving the price up drives demand for Bitcoin, which drives up the basis trade, which brings in more institutional buyers. And for the first time this cycle, we're seeing something since the 26th of February is when it really started. We're seeing traders taking their profits from Bitcoin and dumping them into really tiny altcoins. And what this means for us is that Altseason is here. And Altseason, for those of you who've been here, who were here in 2021, who were here in 2017, it's far, far more profitable than anything we've seen so far. And so what happens is the Bitcoin profits flow down into these wild and crazy coins, and the same cycle starts again, but faster and harder. Now, crazy coins like Dog with Hat coin, like Cock Inu, which I made 100 grand off Cock Inu coin off a $5,000 investment. These are joke coins that are worth $1 billion each. Now, you can expect this kind of thing to happen and keep happening, like Dog with Hat at 2.6 billion, Pepe at 3.7 billion. You can expect them to try and challenge and flip Shiba and maybe even Doge. So what I'm telling you is that there's still 10Xs there on some of these like crazy overvalued stupid joke coins. Know this. If there's one thing I want you to take away from today's presentation, it's that the beating heart of crypto always is, always has been, always will be the chance for a little guy like you and me, throw a few $100 or $1,000 into an unknown coin before anyone's ever heard of it, and then turn that into lifetime wealth. This is what the stuff of dreams are made of. It's happening now. We've seen a guy put $500 into Dog with Hat. He's got a $20 million position now. As soon as that happens, as soon as people start taking notice, as soon as people hear about it, they can't wait to get involved, and it becomes an idea virus. And once that happens, and it's on the verge of happening, it's just starting to happen, crypto markets become unstoppable. Now, right now, excitement for the Ethereum ETF is reaching just an absolute fever pitch. We've got the Bitcoin halving just a few months away. And you can see what happened in the 2012 halving. It just went ballistic. In the 2016 halving, ballistic. The 2020 halving, same thing. The next halving is happening, expected in the next month. Now, all of these things, they're colliding. They're smashing together. The planets are aligning like never before. We've got the halving. We've got the Bitcoin ETF approval and the huge inflows into those Bitcoin ETFs. We've got the Ethereum ETF. We've got the Chicago Mercantile Exchange basis trade is something that people have slept on that's huge. We've got Altseason just starting it. We've got meme coin mania bringing retail in from the sidelines. Now, every bull market started with a halving, but you might not be aware that every crypto bull market has also had interest rate cuts. Interest rate cuts, secret source of speculative manias. Now, the Fed has just announced, like 2 days ago, they announced they're starting their rate cuts in June. So we've never had everything line up in this perfect storm kind of way. And that's why I think this is going to be the biggest bull market of all time, but also the longest running crypto bull market we've ever seen. You're still so early. We are still so early. I'm expecting, at least 10x gains on my accounts and hopefully 50x gains from now. And I've already had 10x gains. But if you aren't positioned right now, you haven't got a moment to waste. You got to get serious now. Unlike past bull markets, we now have our AI showing us how to play this thing absolutely like a fit. Now, right now, it's dead simple to make money from crypto. Dead simple. You don't even need my help. Each and every one of you right now, if you're investing in coins, I'm going to show you how to pick the right coins in a minute, but you're pocketing massive windfalls just about every day. We all know it's true. But the real problem isn't making the money. The real problem is not fumbling the bag when it all ends. And let's be honest, as great as crypto bull markets are, and this is my third, they always end. And the game isn't how much you make, it's how much you keep. And the bigger the party, the longer the hangover, right? So just for giving me your time and attention at the end of this presentation, you'll get the silver version of what I'm about to show you absolutely free with no catch, no credit card, no free trial stuff, just free. Now, today is nothing held back day. No questions are off limits. It's not some kind of bait and switch where I show you part of a cool thing and then expect you to pay for it if you want to be able to use it. Sure, I've got something really, really cool for sale, but I promise you that you will walk away with absolutely everything you need to implement this strategy and the free access to the automated tools I built to do the heavy lifting for us so that it just takes a few minutes a day. Here's the plan. This is my plan, and I want it to be your plan as well. Let's ride this alt season for all it's worth. Using our 100x Coin Club picks. If you aren't already in there, I'm going to give you free access today just for turning up. Most of you here are already doing that with massive success. I'm going to show you in a few minutes how to take the profits from the 100x Coin Club, get about 10xing that on autopilot without ever risking your profits. And when I say 10x returns on autopilot, you might think that's hype, but since 2019, what I'm going to show you today has turned a $10,000 starting investment into $203,000. That's a 20x return. And today you're going to see a press button make money system that makes money every single year since we started in 2019. It's never had a losing year, even through all the bear markets. It has, this slide is out of date. We have 10.3 million of our own money making well over 100% per year now. It earns risk-adjusted returns better than Soros and Ray Dalio put together. It works in bull markets, but most importantly, it works in bear markets. It printed money during the Sam Bankman-Fried FTX debacle, every other crypto disaster. Makes money when the market goes down. It requires no thinking, no luck, no predictions. It requires zero knowledge of the blockchain, of crypto, of encryption. You don't have to know any of that stuff, and it runs on autopilot. And I barely check mine at all. Today, you're going to see a press button make money system that takes 3 minutes to set up. If you can set up Netflix, you can do this. It requires zero technical skill. It takes the risk out of crypto because it makes money like clockwork in bear markets. Also, 4 out of the 10 biggest hedge funds in the world use it. It's created countless billionaires and multimillionaires. Like this guy, John Henry, he owns the Liverpool Football Club, the Boston Red Sox, some racing team. He's got a net worth of $4 billion. He made it all from trend following. This guy, Cliff Asness, one of my personal heroes, he wrote the second ever academic paper on trend following, and he's parlayed that into a $1.6 billion fortune, and he manages $200 billion worth of money this way. I've been doing this since 2014 in the traditional markets, and my own personal results, it was up to $4 million, but you can see in February, I had a 45.42% return on my $4 million. It's now almost $6 million in my retirement accounts doing this. I'm getting rich off this, guys. It's all based on the oldest and most consistent way of profiting from any market, which is trend following. And we all know, if you've been trading for a while, the trend is your friend. So what is trend following? Trend following is a really simple idea that a coin that starts going up has a higher probability of continuing to go up. This is as close to a law of gravity that we have in financial markets. Just a body in motion tends to stay in motion. Once a coin starts going up, it has a strong tendency to keep going up. You don't need to overcomplicate it. This is an edge that was previously only available to the very largest hedge funds in the world. And there's an entire $300 billion industry who've been printing money hand over fist for 40 years with it. In that 40 years, not one trend following firm has ever blown up. There's plenty of academic evidence that it's worked for hundreds of years. Firms like Dunn Capital my friends run this one. They've outperformed the S&P 500 by 475% over 50 years. I've got my retirement accounts with these guys. They've just gone nuts. They've outperformed the S&P 500 by 600% over the last 20 years. It's astonishing. This is an index of every single trend following hedge fund that's got a track record longer than 10 years. The S&P 500 is in gray, and it's the strongest period for the S&P 500 ever in 100 years, and trend following has still kicked its ass. Now let's go back to the old school. Like, this is the old school. Humans started gathering together in cities, gathered together for security and safety. This is the first human city. 5,000 years ago, this was ancient Ur. Ur was the name of the city in ancient Sumeria, modern day Iraq. Fun fact, before there was money, they used barley as money. Barley was the first money. They stored the prices of barley on these cuneiform clay tablets. So the oldest price data, the oldest charts that we can generate are 5,000 years ago from ancient Sumeria. We run our trend following systems on these. It works just perfectly. It works exactly as well as it does today in crypto. And 16th century Japanese rice markets were the very first derivatives markets. And they invented these candlestick charts that most of us use today. And they knew all about trend following. And in our 100x Coin Club, I've taught all of the 16th century. If you've traded our RTV pattern, if you're part of our group, that I didn't invent that. 16th century Japanese rice traders invented that. And we're still making money on crypto trades with it in 2024. According to billionaire Cliff Assis, trend following has worked annoyingly well for at least 100 years. So this is how much it's made by decade since the 1880s. And you can see every decade it's made money. Done really, really well. Every single decade. What I'm trying to say is this is just a law of gravity, and it just works. It works in stocks, it works in bonds, it works in real estate, it works in FX, it works in commodities, in every country in the world for as long as money has existed. It's worked for 10,000 years because human nature hasn't changed. Human psychology hasn't changed. We are still greedy. We are still fearful. We're the same monkeys wearing shoes who don't think we're monkeys, but the amazing thing, the opportunity of our lifetimes, is that this simple, old, ancient strategy works 6 times as well in crypto. Now, the yellow line is Bitcoin. Blue line is our strategy. This is stopping at the end of last year. We're up about, we're twice as high as that now. But the point is that Bitcoin, you can make a lot of money, but you can also lose a lot of money. This was 83% from here to here and 62% loss in a very single day. And then you made an epic amount of money on the yellow line with Bitcoin. Just right when it looked like the future was so bright, you lost half of it. And then it looked like you were going to be okay. Looked like I couldn't have been more bullish right here. And then Fredo, it broke my heart. And it looked like we were going to be okay and we were going to bounce back. And no, we didn't bounce back. Far from bounced. And it looked like we'd hit a low and it was just rock bottom was a fishing term. And then right when it looked like it couldn't get any worse, Sam Wankman Fraud stole all our money. And that was the bottom. And then, sure, it's back up to here now, but that's a rough ride, guys. Like that's a difficult road to hoe. So with Bitcoin, you've got to time the exact top. You've got to know when to sell. If you're going to trade just Bitcoin or any crypto, it's even worse with alts, you've got to know when to sell. And that is a really, really hard problem. So what I'm going to show you today solves the when do you sell problem with crypto. So if you look at the little peaks and troughs in our system, you've always got liquidity. You keep the money you've made, and you know it might be down 10% or 50%. It's an average of 8.3% down, by the way. So you might be down 8 or 10% from the highest price you ever saw, but you always have liquidity. You can cash out with 10 clicks of a mouse. If you want to buy a house, you want to buy a car, a ring for your girlfriend, go on holidays. You've got an emergency. You don't, you know, if you bought here and you're down here, you have to wait for it to go back up before you can sell. You don't have that. So this is what we call the greatest discovery in little guy finance. So instead of talking about it, Let me show you. Let me show you how to pick winning coins. So what I got here is all of the coins that we follow in our universe. And the last little mini crash we had was on the 5th of March, a few days ago. I'm going to put the cursor on the left-hand side. How do we know? You'd love to be holding Rune or Near or Render, right? You wouldn't be so happy if you're holding any of these shitbag coins. How do we know that Rune was going to be the winner? So every single time, way before Rune went to the moon, you can see early on this green line, it starts outperforming its peers. The second one, Near, way before it went to the moon, you can see it way back here. It's already outperforming all the others. Render, number 3, same thing. Like this is Render here. Bigger. You can see this is very, very, very reliable. Now, let me show you how it worked in the last bull market. So the previous bull market happened in 2021 in 2 goes. It happened from January to about the end of May, and you can see that you really wanted to hold Matic, Bitcoin, and maybe Solana, but really you wanted to hold Matic. How do you know that Matic is going to be the winner? Well, way early on, you can see that this orange line is just outperforming all the others. And this red line, Chili's, that ended up being number 4 coin. Solana, you can see it's just right from the start, it just starts overtaking everything else. And Doge, way before Elon started tweeting about it, Doge makes its move. This is maths. Now, the second part of the crypto bull market in 2021, we have the winning coins were AVAX, Near, Mana, and Sol, and you see exactly the same thing every time. Like AVAX, look at it way back here. It's outperforming everything else. You get advanced warning of what's going to win the race because it starts winning the race. Mana, look at it here. It's just gone straight up. You've got to buy it when you see this happening. Solana, exactly the same thing. You know, and Near, look at it early on, the brown line, straight up, outperforming everything else. It's going to keep outperforming everything else. This is how you pick your coins, guys. You don't ask your dumbass mates on the Facebook groups, or you don't go to Reddit. You don't do your own research. You just buy the winners. So the coins that start performing always continue to outperform, and this happens again and again and again. So you now possess this ability to know with absolute certainty which coins are going to be the moonshots in this 2024 bull market. Now let me show you how to take all the thinking, all the guesswork, all the uncertainty, all the skill, all of the maths completely out of it and turn it into a system that doubles your money every year on autopilot, and way better than that this year. And just so you don't think it's all hype, I'm going to give you that system for free at the end of this presentation just for turning up today with no catch. And if you want me to automate the whole thing for you so you can just sit back and collect the bag with no work and no risk, I'm going to offer you the best deal you can imagine on that. We can automate this whole thing for you into a press button money printing machine, and you will learn how to ride this bull market for all it's worth. Compound your gains into generational wealth without lifting a finger. Now, let's say you bought Bitcoin in 2019, right at the perfect time. You bought it for $3,700 of Bitcoin. You've done great. You made 57% a year. Well, we made 107% a year over that exact same time. You made it without experiencing one single bit of the torment and pain that Bitcoin hodlers had to go through. Like the guys who hold Bitcoin and the laserized crowd, full credit to them, they never sell. That's a hard thing to do. And, you know, I want to point out that most of this is during a time when crypto wasn't going up. It was absolutely the worst time in crypto history, with all that FTX collapse, the Voyager and BlockFi, the Luna scam, all the bad stuff that you can possibly imagine. We made money through it. And at any point, you could cash your money out. You never get stuck holding the bag. You never get stuck waiting for the market to come back so you can get your money back. In fact, if you still bought at the absolute top of the last bull, actually, that's when I personally started trading this system, more than doubled your money since then, like way more. Never had to try and time the exit perfectly because that's hard. You know, no lies between us, timing the exit is hard. You never experience a losing year. You never get stuck holding a bag when the bear market's hit. And if you stuck $10,000 back in 2019, you'd have $110,000 in Bitcoin. You'd have $146,000 in altcoins, and you'd have $380,000 doing this. But better than that, you know, you're 5 years in, you're at 380. You're within 5 years of a $14 million retirement fortune. Like, it's just around the next bend, guys, like 5 years counting down to an 8-figure retirement. If you ever wish you had a time machine, got to go back and buy those Bitcoins, Marty. If you ever wish you could, why didn't I just buy Bitcoins in 2011? Well, this is the next best thing. Now, I've traded the old market since 2014 this way. I've got my retirement accounts doing this. They've compounded now to like $6 million. We've been running it on crypto for a couple of years now. The results are nothing short of incredible. A year ago, we offered it to our best clients in the middle of the bear market, and during the bear market, while everyone else was taking it right in the arse. Let me show you some real results. This is in the bear market. We had 100.96% compounded return in the bear market. I'm pretty proud of this. It's much better now. I'll show you the current result. It's like they're much better than that. This is the 2023 full year performance of some of the biggest hedge funds in the world. So number one is 59%, number two, 48. We got, you know, by the time we're 5 places down, we're down to 22. And some of these are like 2.7, 3, 4.6. Only one of these massive multi-billion-dollar hedge funds got even half our returns. Hang your head in shame, boys, because we beat you. We've beaten all these guys. We've beaten them like redheaded stepchildren every single year since 2019. We beat all these guys. Keep coming. I'll beat you again next year. We promised to double people's money in a year, and we did in the bear market. We've doubled people's money in the last 3 months. There's Ian, who's chairing the call, he's more than doubled his money in the last month. Every single person who's used this system has made money. Everybody has won, no exceptions. And I've never heard of anything in my life like that before. Now, let me show you how it works. Let's get nerdy and dirty for a couple of minutes. One sec. Let me just load up my account. Okay. I like showing this account because it shows the bear market as well as the bull market. We got many accounts, obviously. The first thing you see when you log on is this is how much money you put in, less how much money you withdrew. This is how much money you've got, and this is how much profit you've made. So this account, we put in 58,000 in the bear market. This is running at a you can choose you can choose how volatile you want it to run. This is a very conservative volatility, so this is a conservative investment thing. And you can see the crypto took a bit of a hit the other week. Our hit lasted 1-2 days, and we're back at all-time highs. So in a week, this very conservative account's gone from 111 to 145 without a losing day. Now, the first thing you see, your profit, the money you put in, the market value of your account. You've got an equity curve. You can export that as a spreadsheet or as however you like. The next thing that you might want to look at when you scroll down is these are our top 10 long and short positions. Now, you'll see that these are positions that I ordinarily wouldn't be interested. I'm not interested in any of these coins personally. These are not my favorite coins. And yet I'm holding them and making a heap of money. These are our 10 biggest long positions. These are our 10 biggest shorts. We only have one short right now. It's TRB. The next thing you might want to look at is our portfolio. This is everything in our portfolio. Now, you can sort it by name. You can sort it by notional value. You can sort it by long and short. And so we can see that there's only one short trade right now. And if you click on any position, it brings up a chart. And you can see exactly what happened. You can, if we scroll down, you can see exactly what trades you made for that day. And on every day, it tells you what we're doing. So let me explain how the system works now. Here we go. Let's look at Bitcoin because it's easiest to discover. Okay, we are taking a forecast of trend strength. This is how modern algorithms work. We are blending 6 different trend following algorithms into one number to rule them all. This is the combined forecast. 10 is a normal buy, 20 is a maximum buy, -10 is a normal short, -20 is a maximum short. So you can see that we got long Bitcoin right here when Bitcoin was at 28, and we've held some position, we banked some profits here, and we're wiggling up and down a position every day. And right now we've got about 3/4 of a position on in Bitcoin. And as long as it keeps going up, we'll continue to hold this coin. Now, what we're doing is we're trading a giant universe of over 100 coins. We're taking very small positions in every coin. And every day we're not jumping in and jumping out. Every day, if we like Bitcoin a little more, we're buying a little more Bitcoin. If we like Bitcoin a little less, we're selling a little of it. So we're just playing around the edges, holding a portfolio that's mathematically in the perfect coins all the time. Now, it's really easy to show, oh, wow, I made money in the current situation. That's trivial. But let me show you how it looks when things don't go your way. So in my opinion, the worst time in crypto history was when Sam Bankman-Fried did his thing. So let's look, this is those awful days and hours. So the day before the rumors started to swirl, we had actually bought some Solana. The forecast was 4.5. We had about a half a position on. The very next day, there's trouble in paradise. Rumors started to swirl. Immediately, we got out of our position. And yeah, that's good. But if you think about how emotionally level-headed you'd need to be to say, okay, not just are we getting out of that position, we were wrong, so we better bet that it goes down. And immediately you can see our forecast goes negative. And we bet that the market would go down and go down and go down and go down. But almost every manual investor in the world would have said, I bought it here, it went up for one day, it went down. Oh, I'll give it one more day. I'll give it one more day. Everyone does the same thing. You've all done this. I've done this. Just give it one more day. And now you're stuck. Now you can't leave. And this is where bad things happen, when you get stuck. And we just stayed short and we rode this thing. Let's take a look. So you can see that we stayed short, only started banking the profits here and right here. Can you imagine? You'd have to be Warren Buffett crossed with a Zen monk. You've just made the trade of a lifetime shorting Sam Bankman-Fried's coin. Sam's in jail. Crypto's in total disgrace. Elizabeth Warren is screeching on the TV calling for crypto to be banned. You've made more money than you've made all year betting against him. How are you going to turn around and say, oh, this looks like a good time to buy? Solana's at $14. Are you really gonna have the stones to do that? Like, I'm not that good, you're not that good, no one's that good. And then take a look. We get long Solana right at the start, and we're staying long. If as soon as it starts to go down, we just start banking some profits. As soon as it starts to go back up, we just take a bigger position, and we're a pretty big meaty position, like a meaty position in this thing today. This is how it works. It's really just how it works. This is about taking the money that you're all going to make buku cash from this bull market now. It doesn't really, like, it matters. It matters a lot which coins you buy. But honestly, if you bought bad coins, they're probably still going to go up. If you bought absolute scam coins, they're probably still going to go up. Like, it's all going to go up. But this is about taking that money that you make and creating generational wealth from it. So our system has earned 100% per year. After 5 years, you've turned $10,000 into $320,000. But you're just counting down to the time when you're going to have 10 million bucks. Our strategy has done on average 107% per year. I think we're going to do at conservative targets, I think we're going to do probably 250 this year, but I'll show you some crazy stuff. Let me show you what happens when you run it run this algo aggressively. So one of our developers runs at a very high volatility target. He started with $225 on the 9th of March. Didn't do anything in the bear, really. But as soon as the bull market started, you can see his $225 grew to $600, $700, $14, straight up. Even through the crash last week, he took a punch, shrugged it off. He's turned $200 into $21,000. You can set this as mild or as wild as you like. And I've got some suggestions about that, but they're just suggestions. So what you really want to do, in my opinion, is just relax and enjoy the ride. Know that if you can manage to keep your hands off the steering wheel, it's going to make you rich in 5 or 10 years, no matter how small a grub stake you start with. If you can just not mess with it, just not worry about the day-to-day fluctuations, then you can be highly confident that at the end of the year, you're going to show a profit. Now, this is very interesting. It makes money in bull markets and bear markets in slightly different ways. In bear markets, we have long sideways periods with sharp jumps up. And those sharp jumps up tend to be crashes because markets take the stairs up and the elevator down. When they crash fast, but we're always positioned in the direction of the crash. Bull markets, it's a little bit different. We have steady, not as explosive growth, but much steadier growth. And our sideways periods are much shorter, 19 to 31 days. My goal for you, same as my goal for myself, I want freedom. I want the ability to do whatever I want, wherever I want, with whoever I want, for as long as I want. I don't want anyone telling me what to do. I don't want to have to be anywhere. I want to use money as a tool to buy my time back, to buy my freedom back, to let compounding do the work. So who's impressed so far? We built what I believe is the ultimate platform for ongoing trading system development. There is no doubt, absolutely none in the world, that this is the finest trading infrastructure ever offered to retail traders. This is far better than what exists in most hedge funds. Now, a few days ago, you didn't know me. Hopefully, you've given me your time and attention over the last few days. If I've done my job right here today, I hope you've given me some trust, and I don't take all that lightly. So just for showing up today, because you still believe in crypto and the opportunity it presents, because you've given me your time today, and because you're here right now, even after I mess the time zones up, we're going to make you an incredible offer to put this thing to work for you so you can start doubling your money every year. Now, for those of you who know me, who've supported me through all of this journey, words alone aren't enough to thank you. I'm on a quest to be the best in the world, and it is the honor of my life to grind like an animal every single day for this community. And I'm leading us all to generational wealth. For those of you meeting me for the first time today, the only way I can earn your trust is to throw some money in your pocket right now. So therefore, for giving me your time and attention, I'm going to give you all 6 months access to the light version of the incredible trading system you've just seen. It's far simpler and easy enough even for a beginner to use. It gets around 75% of the performance of the automated system, and it stops you getting wrecked in the bear market. So let me show you how to use it. It's the exact same website login security as you've already seen. You have a simplified dashboard. Just tells you what trades you should open today and what trades you should close and what trades you have open. This is all it is. It just once a day. You don't have to do it at any specific time, but it should be around the same time. Buy the things it tells you, close the ones it tells you. Now, I've got one more thing to show you. Now, truly, I've saved the best for last. If you could earn twice as much as the system I've just shown you, what would that do for your life? How much faster could that get you to your freedom number? The blue is 100% a year. The red is 200% a year. Starting out the same, after 1 year, 200% a year is a little bit ahead. But by year 2, it's streaking away 90 versus 40. And by year 3, it's getting ludicrous. And by year 4, you wouldn't believe it if I showed you. This is how the really big algo trading firms, the Rentechs, the Jane Streets, the Susquehanna Groups, the Citadels, this is how they make so much money. What these guys are all doing is blending multiple systems together, and we see an effect where the whole is more than the sum of the parts. Why? Because when one system stops working or slows down, another one takes over. This is our newest system, which is cross-sectional carry. I don't have time to explain how it works today, and you'd hate me if I did, but because today is nothing held back today, let me just post in the chat a full and complete technical specification of it. Let me just post that for everyone. And yeah, there's even an Excel spreadsheet if you want to calculate it yourself. So carry is one of the strongest edges in finance. There's actually far more institutional money using it than trend, though. And as you can see, it's not quite as good as trend, but still great. So it's got a compound annual growth rate of 53% with a Sharpe ratio of 1.17. It's still pretty good, but it has very interesting properties. It makes money most of the time and then shits the bed all at once. It makes money most of the time and then shits the bed all at once. It makes money most of the time, then shits the bed and then makes money most of the time. That's a characteristic of this system. Now, I want you to see what happens at the magic when we combine, and I prefer a 35-65 mix of carry and trend. So carry is a 53% a year, Sharpe 1.17. Trend is 100.9% a year at Sharpe 1.71. You mix them together, you go from 100.9 to 243% per year. Now, fair warning, I probably wouldn't run it targeting at 243% per year. I think the max drawdown of 34% is a little much for most people to deal with. I would prefer to see you targeting 180 to 200% here at a Sharpe ratio of 2.15, which is beyond world-class. It's amazing. So our system is custom for every single user. We can dial this up or we can dial it down to suit your goals. I would personally recommend running this one at around 200% per year target. This is the difference between retiring at 40 and retiring at 50. It really is. So while you're still young, while you still have the energy, the desire to explore the world, while your dick still works, while you've got the time, the money, the freedom to invest in your relationship, let everything with your spouse flourish. You want to get out there and enjoy your life and enjoy the freedom before you're 70 or 80 years old. Like, do it now, do it young. I'll explain the dial it up or dial it down in a little bit, Steve. Now, because this has been life-changing for me and my family, I want to give you guys the deal of a lifetime. Here's the deal. So we've got 3 tiers of FinRev available, and to preempt any bitching, anyone who bought in before the 1st of February, you're grandfathered in for life. You get the upgrade from gold to platinum. So FinRev Silver is the signal service version of it. You have to execute the trades yourself, but you get a very simple portal that helps you do that. It's a free 6 months for everyone who attended today. You'll get a login in your email. FinRev Gold is trend following. It's 6,500 for 3 years of fully automated trend following trading. That's just 2,150 a year. The reason we do it in 3-year chunks is you really want to stick with this for multiple years. This is not something that you want to go in and out next month, the month after. You want it to let it ride for multiple years and really see the compound. Now, FinRev Platinum has some key advantages. It's 9,500 for 3 years of fully automated trading with all our systems, including the cross-sectional carry that virtually doubles, well, more than doubles the returns. But you also get the ability to run multiple exchanges, multiple accounts. So if you're worried about any particular exchange might go broke, you can split it between many different exchanges. You can also run one at a higher volatility target, expecting very wild returns, and you can run one steady and smooth. So FinRev Platinum has a lot of flexibility for those who want to build a very custom wealth building program. So let's go over it again. FinRev Gold, 6,500 for 3 years. You get 3 years of automated algorithmic trading with FinRev. You get a VIP onboarding with one of our expert crypto trader coaches. And these are people who make their living from crypto. They're not like customer service guys in the Philippines or whatever. You get comprehensive all the stats and monitoring that I've showed you today. This is all yours. You can delay starting or pause at any time. And this is critical because let's say, like, for example, I've got some money in this absolutely stupid degenerate coin Retardium that I now have over $100,000 worth because I'm an idiot. You might want to pause and throw your money in some stupid coin play for 2 weeks and then pull it back out and put the profits in. You can pause or start anytime. You can start, restart, do whatever you want. We have a double your money guarantee. If you aren't in profit after your first 12 months using this system, your time does not start. Your 3 years does not start until you've doubled your money. FinRev Platinum, 9,500 for 3 years. You get 3 years of automated algorithmic trading. Get a VIP onboarding with one of our expert crypto trader coaches. You get the same stats and monitoring. You get a completely custom system designed for your goals. We sit down and there's a lot of work involved in building something that's going to get you to your financial goals. You get grandfathered into new systems. We have 6 more on the drawing board for no extra charge. The same delay, starting or pause at any time. Both trend following and cross-sectional carry makes it smoother and it makes the returns bigger. The same double your money guarantee. Now, how you get access is just go to finrev.trade/call. If you need a payment plan, if you want a shorter commitment, a longer commitment, we got options for you. Like our onboarding team, it's not some high pressure like sales guy thing. They're just our onboarding team are here to help. Just book in, discuss your situation with them. We'll take care of it. If you're an existing customer, you want to upgrade, you can just pay the difference at whatever the current price is. What else do I need to show you? Yeah, you can pay with EFT, you can pay credit card, you can pay existing credit. Yeah, can we go over the top 5 strongest coins? Render, Rune, and Near. Okay, so JS Cho, I wouldn't try and time the exit here, or time the entry here. Ordinarily, you'd be looking to time an entry, and the best time is on a dip. If you want to get cute, wait for a dip that scares you and buy. But honestly, I would scale in right now. I would scale in right now. One thing, if you're trading perpetual futures right now, don't go too heavy on the leverage. 2 to 1 max. Like really, don't go 5 to 1, don't go 10 to 1. 3 to 1 max, honestly, because the light version we're giving you for free. You don't need a deposit or a credit card at all. We're just giving it to you because you turned up today. Because I want you guys to make money. What can I show you? Is there anything else you'd like to see? Maybe the setup.
Nice. I'm just scrolling back through some questions, Scott. I'll shout some out.
Okay, let me just show you the setup first. So what you do, the setup is like 3 minutes. You need to set up Google Authenticator, which is one of these codes that doesn't let anyone log in unless you've got either your phone or a hardware key. You choose your exchange. The exchanges are Binance, BitGet, Bybit, DYDX, and KuCoin. US customers, your options are DYDX and BitGet. Now, DYDX is a DeFi exchange. Very, very interesting because they don't know who you are. It's completely DeFi. They don't have you using, they don't have your email address, they don't have your address, they don't know what country you're in. This has big implications for taxation. If you are perhaps the kind of shady guy that wouldn't want to report all your gains, DYDX is for you. If you want to stay anonymous, if privacy is important to you, this DYDX is a very, very strong solution. So what you do is you choose your account and you generate an API key from your exchange. It takes like 2 seconds, and you put it in and you go save. Now, what happens is the very next morning at 0000 Greenwich Mean Time, you don't have to do anything. The system recognizes that you've got money in your account and starts trading with it. It builds the perfect portfolio for that. Let's say you want to pull your money out. Let's say you've got $21,000 and it's time to buy $5,000 worth of whatever. You don't have to email support or ask permission or any of that. You just go to your crypto exchange and pull however much you want out of your crypto wallet. The system automatically adjusts and says, okay, he hasn't got 21,000 anymore. He's only got 10,000. I'll start trading with 10,000. So you can add more or you can take money out at any time or stop trading with like 2 clicks of the mouse. You don't have to email support or wait for us. You don't need permission to get access to your money. And the important thing to understand about API key trading is there's never any permission for us to withdraw money from your account. The only permission we have is to trade. So there can never be a situation where a rogue employee just steals everyone's money. We don't hold your keys. We don't hold your keys. We don't hold your keys. We're not custodying your coins. You remain in complete control over everything. Sorry, Ian, more questions?
Yeah, I think what would be a good one, Scott, is people's life circumstances and how that relates to how aggressive they go.
Okay, so there's a whole branch of academic theory on portfolio management. Here's the basics of it. If you are closer to retirement, you have to be more conservative because you can't withstand drawdowns in retirement. You need to start pulling that money out to live. If you are younger and further away from retirement, you can be a bit more aggressive. You can push the boat out a bit on risk. If you have a job which is going to be affected by any future financial downturn in the economy, like, for example, if you're a building contractor, like a builder, if you get another recession, your building business probably your income's going to take a hit. You have to be less aggressive if that's you. Why? Because you're going to get hurt at a time when it hurts to get hurt. If you've got a very stable professional income or like a job that you've held for a long time that you're not getting fired from, that you can count on that money, you can be a little bit riskier. If you've got some sort of internet side hustle income or you're earning your money day trading crypto right now, you have to dial it down a little bit because it doesn't make any sense to earn your money from the casino and then go put the money at high levels of risk. So those are the basics of it. There's more than that. Most of our customers run at what we call, what I think is sensible is about a 45% volatility target, which seems pretty quiet for most crypto traders. Some of our customers run at, this is what it looks like at 100% volatility target. So going from 13th of November, $700 to 21,000 at the 13th of March. I would not do this. This is too much. You can put it where you want, but I wouldn't go too hard. Ian, what do you run your accounts at?
I run my main account at 50% and it runs just perfectly. And what I mean by perfectly is the amount that my account wiggles, the chances of me really taking it in the face with a drawdown are slim to none. It's a possibility, but at 50%, it's going to be a smooth drive.
So let's look at, a rough drive. He went from 18,000 down to 12,000. That's pretty scary. And then he took 3 days to make it all back. Let me load up.
Not everybody can keep going. Once they take a punch like that, not everybody can keep going. It gets really emotionally hard.
So let me show you what it looks like when you're a bit more sensible. So the same thing, the guy was, and it's easy to be aggressive when you're talking about 10,000, 20,000. It's not easy to be aggressive when you're talking about millions of dollars, right? So that's another thing to take into account. So if we look at this guy, he was at 133,000 just a couple of weeks before he was back at 85. He's done pretty well. He had a 1-day drop down from 133 down to 111. He's running at 45% volatility target. The next day, he's 127. So he's made most of it back in a day. The next day he's back to square, and now he's 145. So this is probably the sensible version of what I've shown you today. Not everyone's super sensible, and it's kind of a market time when it's going to reward people for doing things that are a little bit not sensible. You can't blow up with this. So the advantage is that you're never going to have a situation where, oh, you just lost all your money and you're out of the game. And that can easily happen trading perpetual futures otherwise. Like that can easily happen. So we're not going to let you do something where you get where I don't want anyone ever, we have a track record that every single person who's ever used this has made money. I'm not risking that track record just because you want to be a degenerate gambler. Like that's not going to happen. Like in 5 or 10 years time, I want thousands and thousands and thousands of people trading hundreds of millions of dollars to all say no one has ever lost money doing this, and I'm just unwilling to risk that. So we won't let you go too hard. I'll go a little bit hard.
That's it. And if we look at those projections by the compounding rate calculator, in my head, this is just a nice gentle game of countdown. So because it's a longer term thing for me, I don't need to check this every day.
And in fact, you shouldn't check it.
You should.
All you can do is put your hands on the steering wheel. And we already know that the biggest mistake you can make is putting your hands on the steering wheel. Just don't touch it. Hands off. Leave it alone. Like your dad used to tell you, stop playing with that thing. Stop playing with it. Leave it alone.
Exactly. So that's why the 100x is such a great companion to this, because that's discretionary trading. You can learn some hobbyist stuff. You can get some insight. That's all great, because Big Brother FinRev here, it was what Scott said earlier. He's turning up with a sledgehammer and he's ready to go every day, FinRev.
Yeah, every day. It's just so reliable. It's like the honey badger thing, and like it doesn't care if you like the coin or you hate the coin. It doesn't care if you're having a good day or a bad day. I messed up a couple of weeks ago. I was on a plane flight back to Japan, and I was too tired to exit positions, and I got wrecked on them. It was very embarrassing for me because I made a mistake because I was tired, because I was traveling for 14 hours, and FinRev just doesn't do that. It takes all the risk out of it, and you never have to worry. It's a brilliant thing. It's a brilliant thing.
Absolutely, yeah. I mean, our meat computers and frail bodies just cannot compete with the the machine, and that's wonderful, because it's like the machine is the adult in the room, and I get to go and play on the swings in the 100x club. Well, this is just great, isn't it?
So let's go over what these guys get. So you're getting the FinRev Silver, which is a simplified version. It doesn't take as many trades as FinRev Gold or Platinum. But if you had to take 100 trades a day, you'd go nuts and you'd never do it. So it's like a trade every couple of days, right? Yeah. So everyone gets that in their email. Everyone's getting access to the 100x Coin Club if they haven't already got it. If you've already got it, you'll get some extra access. I really recommend that you book in and get this. This is absolutely what you want to do. It's what I'm doing.
Absolutely.
I called the flash crash. I told them, guys, we're going to have a flash crash in the next couple of hours. I got home at like 9 p.m. I was like, oh, fuck it, I'll just exit those positions in the morning. I was, oh.
Yeah, a $400,000 sleep. But on the other side of that, if you join, somebody's asking about how much work in the 100x club. If you can buy the coin, then the work can be, it literally can be nothing. You'll get the trade alert. You'll follow that trade alert. We'll provide the information of where to buy, how to go about buying, and then you buy it. And that's it. Nothing else to do. However long later, Scott will say, now's time to sell. You follow the links again, you sell the coin, bang, job done.
And I'd say even more than that, the traders who do the best in our 100x Coin Club group are the guys who trade the least. The guys who are in and out all day, every day, who are watching it all day, every day. This is very difficult to do. Like, I can do it, but I've been doing it all day, every day for like 15 years. You don't want to do that. The 90% of you are going to make more money holding 5 to 10 of the strongest coins and just holding them right now for the next couple of months. I'll tell you when things have gone to a fever pitch and you got to get out. Like that stuff is pretty obvious to me. Like,
It's like one of the huge things I find in the 100x
Retardio, go Retardio.
Oh, Retardio's buzzing.
Retardio's going to buy me a house, a no
yeah, that's right.
I mean, imagine the bragging rights. I'm a Retardio millionaire. Oh.
I know, there's just too many jokes that write themselves. So yeah, so just,
yeah, that thank you very much for turning up today, guys. Any questions you've got, like, ask them in the group. Really here to help. Really believe in this product. Everyone in our company uses it. My dad uses it. Everyone uses it. First thing I've ever done that I'm just unequivocally proud of. Like, I showed this week to a guy called Dr. Ewan Sinclair, who's probably the second most famous derivatives trader in the world after Nassim Taleb. And I got him on tape saying, he interrupted me halfway through. He said, you know what, Scott? This is what Nassim Taleb, who he hates, the Black Swan guy, this is what Nassim Taleb should be doing if he really did want to be anti-fragile. And he's like, this super famous, like, runs $1 billion options trading market making firm. He gets it. He gets it.
He gets it. All right, what a note to close on.
Yeah.
Thank you, everyone. Thanks, Scott.
Bye-bye.